Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me again. I have to apologize for being away for a couple of weeks. I had some really bad allergies that I had to deal with. I couldn't put on makeup or anything, but I am back now, and I'm back with some exciting news. I've teamed up with Shiomura to create my own custom palette that is now available. They asked me to choose 4 colors that I would use to create my own signature look, and these are the 4 that I picked. I put up a picture on Instagram last week of a look that I created with this palette, and a lot of people have been asking for a tutorial, so here's the look and I'm going to show you how to achieve it. So I'm going to start out by applying this peach shade right here as my base, and I'm actually going to apply this color wet. So I'm going to take a large flat brush and I'm going to get a bunch of that shadow on there, and then I'm going to take my Fix Plus and just spray it. And then I'm going to go in and just pat that onto my lids for a nice pearl finish. And anytime you can't do this with all eyeshadows, but when you use most eyeshadows wet, the color shows up much more vibrantly, and especially with like a shimmer or a pearl finish, it just shows up much more glossy, just like this one. So now that I've got my base on, I'm going to get right into the darker colors using a small brush, and I'm going to use this kind of dark reddish brown here, and this is a matte shade. So I'm going to go in with this, starting at the outer part of my crease and just pressing the color in and extending this across my crease. There's going to be a lot of blending in this look, so be prepared for that. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Just really focusing that color on the outer part of the lid and extending over and across the crease. And these are nice soft shadows, and they're highly pigmented, so you don't have to work too hard getting the color on. And with each step of this look, since I am using such dark colors, I want to be sure that I'm blending. So I'm going to take my Pirouette Professional blending brush. This is actually my favorite blending brush now. It's super soft and fluffy, and the size is a little bit bigger than most blending brushes. So I love this for blending. I'm mostly focusing on the outer edges. Now we're moving into the black. When I was picking out the colors for this palette, I knew I had to have a nice, rich black in there, just to have the option to create really smoky, dramatic looks, or even use the black shadow as a liner. So I picked this nice matte black here, and I'm using this really small brush from Sigma. It's the E20 brush, because I don't want to cover too much area with the black. So I'm going to go in, and actually I want to use this color wet too, just so I get as much of that pigment as possible. So I'm going to go in basically the same area as that dark brown color, but I'm not going to extend it quite as far across. I'm just going to kind of stop right there. I'm really just focusing on that outer corner. So this darkness is kind of going to start really dark here and fade as it comes to the inner corner of the eye into like a much lighter brown. Again, you can see I'm just kind of patting that color in, just so I'm not covering too much area. So now to blend this out, I'm going to use my Delium Tools 776 brush, because I don't want to blend it out too much so that that black doesn't get any lighter. So I'm going to blend inward across my crease and over that outer edge. Okay, now to diffuse that contrast between the lighter and the darker colors, I'm going to go into this kind of pearly light medium brown here, and I'm going to use this to again blend the inner part as well as the outer corners here. Just so everything fades to a nice soft brown and it doesn't stay with that stark contrast. So now what I'm going to do is also add a little bit of color to my lower lash line, and anytime I'm dealing with my lower lash line or the inner corners of my eyes, I love using my E21 brush by Sigma. So I'm going to go back here and I'm actually just going to use that light medium brown because I don't want this look to get too dark. And of course I'm going to use it wet, and I'm just going to line that bottom lash line just for a little bit of color, a little bit of smokiness. So now that I'm done with the shadow, I'm going to go in and use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Covet waterproof eyeliner in Noir. And I'm going to start by lining the inner rim of my top lash line to really add that darkness. And then I'm just going to draw a messy line across because I'm going to end up smudging this out anyway, so you don't have to make it perfect. And now I'm just going to use that same brush that I used to apply the black shadow, and I'm going to go in and just smudge out that line. So it's a nice smoky line. And of course I'm going to line my waterline as well with the same eyeliner, just darkening up that lash line. I've applied a coat of mascara to my top and bottom lashes, but I think what really topped off this look was the false lashes, and I used Dose of Colors in Double Dose. It's a really nice, full, more natural looking set of lashes, so I'm going to put these on. So that is it for the eyes, but I want to make sure I show you what I use for the rest of my face. I have my foundation on already, and I used this Bobbi Brown cream foundation. It's called the Long Wear Even Finish Compact in Natural. And now I'm going to apply my MAC Prep and Prime highlighting pen in Light Boost. And I don't want this to be a really structured look, so I'm just going to do a really kind of light application. If I can find the brush to blend it. Here it is. And now for my blush, I used the Galactic blush in Madrid. It's a nice deep berry color that's perfect for the fall. And now for my gloss, I'm using the Galactic lip gloss in Just Nude. It's a really nice neutral gloss. So there it is, the completed look. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the palette or any other product I used in this video, be sure to check out the description box and I'll have all the product info listed. So thank you again for being with me, and I will see you next time.